Well, folks, good clean living is paid off for you because his segment too.
Yeah, we lived over the break.
That's it.
We didn't die. Yeah.
So, picking back up on the advertisements that drive you crazy.
Bad advertising.
okay.
Now, we got to be careful because there's a thing in advertising that says there's no such thing as a bad ad. There's a bad ad is, well, there is, one that nobody remembers or talks about. Sometimes they're so bad to get people to say, you see that stupid thing, just to irritate people. But I think some of these today are just dumb. They just don't understand that it's really irritating dumb.
Well, don't you think too that we're experiencing the dumbing down
Oh,
of
absolutely.
America?
Absolutely.
And they have got to gun these
And
things
stereotypic.
at the lowest common denominator.
Everything has to be stereotyped,
Yeah.
or they think you won't understand it.
Yeah.
But the one that GMC's ads, the one that he says, well, I bought you something, honey.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he says, oh, I love it. And she says, well, I bought you something too. And they walk back in his SUV and the pickup.
The black and the red.
Oh my God, that is so phony.
You know, and instead of him saying,
No,
get
that's
your
yours.
hands
my
off the
truck.
pickup
That's
truck.
right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and drag your butt over here and throw your arms around this
Yeah.
red SUV.
Oh no, he
No.
trembles. Then the
Oh.
second one they got with the dog running through the snow,
Oh, yeah.
and then the truck comes out of the truck, and watch, he looks at her like this, and she says, "Okay, you can go touch the truck." I mean, what you got to give him permission to go over there?
They are, I'll clean it up. They are tearing the backbone out of men.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, is this how men are expected to act? Oh, sweetie,
That's
can
it.
I go touch the truck?
But and the men are so stupid
Yeah.
sometimes. And like they just don't catch on, and the wife just said, "All right, honey, I'll take care of it. You just do what you want to do."
Yeah, go over to the corner
You
there
go and sit in
stick
the
your
corner,
finger in
yeah.
your ear.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Aye.
Allstate's got one where they pick up the car. We start out with one that car jumps up and down. It was just dumber in hell. That one didn't last long. Now they're picking the car up and carrying the car around. I mean, what are
By
they trying
the
to
way-
tell?
By the way, speaking of ads, I'll tell you one that is an instant turnoff, and that is the ad with shoot, is it State Farm?
What's it about?
It's the Green Bay's quarterback,
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, the Rodgers rate.
The Rodgers rate.
Yeah, that's...
Whose brilliant idea was it to make Rodgers look like a homeless person with
Why
the
is-
long hair?
I think that's Rodgers himself did that.
Yeah, I did too. But
And I don't know why.
But I would have said to Rodgers, hey, Aaron, you're canceled on those ads.
Yeah, I wouldn't have carried it anymore.
Just see you later. When you are going to present yourself as a human being, let me know. We'll start the ads back
He
up
looks
again.
like a drug addict
Yeah.
or a drug dealer now.
He's got the sunken eyes.
Yeah, the red shot eyes,
Yeah.
bloodshot eyes. I don't know what's going with him.
Are they trying to relate to a certain segment
I don't
of the
know.
population? Is that on purpose, or is that just sheer stupidity? And because he's Aaron Rodgers, they can't criticize him or say, "Hey, Dumbo, you can't do this," because he's bigger than life or something. And by the way, I mean, he's going to have an ego about the size of the state of Missouri.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I should be a host on Jeopardy. You know, I could do it for 3 months during the summer.
He was the
and
weakest. He was the weakest host that they brought out there.
He really thinks he's
Oh yeah.
quite the lad. And you know what? I really liked him until this latest iteration.
Yeah, when
And
he
he's
started
become
playing the
dislikable.
games there on preseason and
Yep.
early season, that he lost a lot of his legacy there.
You know, he's going to be in trouble, too, because I think he's going to, at the end of the season, no matter how it turns out, he's going to say to Green Bay, put up or shut up. I'll give you 1 hour to give me a decision.
Well, he's announced that he will not drag anything out. When he's ready at the end of the season, he's just going to announce that this is what it is.
Well, I think it's he's left the door open for them to sign
Oh, yeah,
him,
absolutely.
but it's going to be on his terms.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell them, you better make the best offer as your first offer. Because if I don't like it, I'm out the door and go draft yourself another boy. So from a guy that was as popular as all get out,
Oh, yeah.
he's really tarnishing his persona, if you will.
Absolutely. I couldn't understand. That's another. I agree with you totally. I don't understand why he did that, why they let him do that, why his agent let him do that. You know, it's nuts.
It is nuts. But then you look at the hairstyles on some of the players that are playing,
Yeah.
and you say, well, they just don't have any choice. I mean, if they said something to Rodgers, he'd say, item A, item B, item C, item D, item E. You're going to go tell them they got to modify their hairdos? I might as well get one more good one out of my system, too, by the way. Unrehearsed here and unwritten down. That is, I have watched the coverage of the Patriots, as is my wont.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots, the Red Sox, and then maybe ratchet down a little bit for the Bruins and the Celtics. But I watch sports, and I'm really interested in sports. The coverage of the Patriots is an interesting thing. Well, last year, after the 7-9 season, it was, well, it's proven Belichick has lost his fastball. He's an idiot. He mishandled the Brady situation. It's Brady, not Belichick, that is the stick that stirs the drink. What's he going to do now? I mean, golly, Superman wasn't able to do it at quarterback, which was a disaster. So what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. He's going to go into the draft and draft a bunch of nobodies, and it's going to be business as usual because Kraft told them, cut down on the budget, you bozo. And that's why Brady was forced out of town. All these guys pontificating like that, like they knew what was going on. There's two people that know what's going on. Three.
Yeah.
Bob Kraft, Jonathan Kraft, and Bill Belichick.
That's right.
Yeah. Those are the only three that are qualified to talk about what goes on up to Patriot Stadium.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And then, the newspaper scribes and talk radio.
Oh, my God.
Look what they did. Mac Jones. He couldn't break a pane of glass with his...
He hit the rookie wall.
Yeah.
Because he lost a couple...
How about that?
Rook hit the rookie wall.
Yeah. Playing against two
Yeah.
good football teams with aggressive defenses.
And you look at what his compatriots rookies did. Holy crap.
Yeah. Then it's, well, you know what? Look at Jonesy. The Patriots are now 9-4. And Jones has won 7 in a row. Let's hop on the Jones bandwagon. And, well, who needs Brady? Jonesy is getting the job done. He's coming along beautifully. Belichick was brilliant. Jones has 2 subpar games against tough opponents Okay,
Yeah.
he rallied in the second game. He brought him back in the second half, but nonetheless, they lost both games. Now you're 9-6. Yeah. Now it's Belichick's not so smart. Look at Jones. He's flubbing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Jones won Sunday. It absolutely destroyed the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
And now it's
Oh, yeah.
Jones. He's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these guys, I swear to you, they must have brains with attention spans
And
about that long.
They think we don't remember anything they
Yeah.
write. Shaughnessy was one that was saying about the rookie wall. Oh, he's stopped now. Sunday's paper. Oh no, Shaughnessy's like, why did these people think that? Well, you're the one that was putting that crap out.
His nickname, he likes it too, by the way, is Slash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, he's slashing at people all the time. He couldn't. Well, I shouldn't say couldn't because he's not a bad writer, but
He's a good, excellent writer.
He's in attack mode all the time. He's got to be attacking someone, something, whatever. He doesn't take a dispassionate sit back and analyze the situation kind of approach to writing. So I've disliked him for so many years. You know who was one of the all-time greats in Boston lore? There's been so many of them. But Johnny Pesky.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Pesky,
That voice of his.
yeah, was one of the nicest persons that God ever put on the face of the earth. And yet, Shaughnessy stabbed him in the back.
Shaughnessy he can be brutal.
Yeah. And
I was-
Pesky never spoke to him again for
I
the
was in
rest
a-
of his life.
Believe it or not, I went in a bar. In
It must have been a new experience.
Oh yeah, it was in Richmond, Virginia. And I wasn't there. It was back when UMass was hot with the Final Four. You remember that with who?
Julius Irving?
No, before after that. Oh Christ, he got himself in trouble to the big center they had then.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Marcus Camby.
Oh, okay. All right.
That era.
Yeah.
Well, they were down in one of the Final Four, one of the playoff games in Richmond. And I and a friend of mine were down there for NASCAR, was Winston Cup then. And when we checked into the Hyatt, or no, Marriott that we stayed at, the woman at the desk said, she says, you going over to the whatever bar, nightclub it was. And we said, we didn't know. She says, oh, that's where all the Massachusetts fans gather. That's the place. They said that even some of the guys coming down for NASCAR from the New England area are over there. So we went over to see what's going on. It was really it was a nice time. They're giving us, the Virginians are giving us a tough time, you know, but kidding nicely, you know. But who walks through the door? Dan Shaughnessy. The place starts chanting, Shaughnessy sucks. Shaughnessy sucks. Louder, on and on and on. He turned around and left. He wasn't even going to stay around. But
Profile and courage, huh?
yeah, I said he's because he was brutal with UMass and stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, when somebody's down, he doesn't lend a helping hand. He goes over and kicks them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they started shouting, that Shaughnessy sucks. But we had a good time in that place. They gave us a lot of crap about being Yankees and stuff, but they did it. It was good natured and stuff. And you really wouldn't have to buy a drink either. They're always buying you. Well, it was a strange weekend. Though we went down there, we got off the plane. It was snowing.
Hello.
Wow. I said we left Boston
To
coming
get
to
away
Richmond.
from that.
We got off the plane and it's snowing. So we gave them a hard time about that stuff too. So we did have some ammunition
Yeah.
back on them.
Oh, I'll tell you. Well, anyway, Dan Shaughnessy has never been my favorite writer, but I guess Will McDonough
Yeah,
was
he's good.
probably, Nick Cafado was good. And he made a difficult transition from football over to baseball.
Hmm.
And he became a very good baseball writer. And you notice that now because Peter Abraham is not the writer that Nick Cafado was.
No, some of these
Nowhere
guys are
near
not.
it. And he also doesn't have the sources that Cafado had. And Abraham's been around for a long time. He was a Yankee reporter, New York Yankees. But anyway, I was going to say I don't know who the devil my favorite reporter is these days. Maybe there's no such thing as my favorite reporter.
I follow the Patriots quite closely, and some Red Sox, and a little Bruins. But I'm not a basketball fan, so I don't really know what's going on with the Celtics. I just was never a fan of basketball.
Now Ben Volen.
Roland, yeah, he does some. I think he sort of seemed to be like the head writer
For the Globe. He is,
yeah, for the
football
Globe.
guy. Yeah. They hired him from Florida.
Oh, okay,
He was a Miami Dolphins beat writer.
okay.
I think it was Miami. I'm quite sure it was.
I follow college football a lot.
Yeah,
Like
I don't call it
that playoff
yeah.
Alabama and Georgia. A blind man could have predicted that those two be
Yeah.
coming out to play the national championship. There
Yeah.
was no way Michigan had a chance, or Cincinnati had a chance on that.
Cincinnati had no chance.
No.
I mean, they were the little engine that
That
could.
could, yeah.
Yeah. But interesting. Well, we might as well kick around one other thing too, and that's the Red Sox. You know, the Red Sox had a good year. They were entertaining. I watched most of their games. I enjoyed them, but they got so many things they really need to do. This COVID thing is hurting them a lot
Oh yeah.
because it's taking away a lot of their flexibility. You can't even talk. You can't talk from one team to another now until that new agreement is decided upon. It's total shutdown. So I think that this could last well into spring training. I think this could be a horror show.
Oh, I think this is going to totally disrupt sports teams.
Yeah, because the owners are really something. If you read some of the proposals they've made to the players, they're cutting benefits.
Yeah, yeah.
They're making more money and cutting benefits.
Yeah, it has gotten. I don't know how this got out of hand, but the price value relationship on those everything is so out of whack. There should be. You shouldn't have to pay $200, $300 to go to a football game.
That's right.
You shouldn't pay $100 or something to go to Fenway to see a game. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's
Yeah.
just nuts. And what player needs that kind of money?
Who needs that kind of money?
Yeah,
Period.
You can't spend it anymore.
No.
It's just a matter of ego. All you're doing is feeding the ego to get that much more and that much more. It's the fan that suffers. The people that like to go to the
And
live
how about
games.
these guys too? Their egos.
Oh my God.
Well, he got
Yeah.
$26,000 a year. I want 26,100 a
Oh yeah.
year. I gotta have
That's
it.
the whole point.
That's it.
It's not money anymore.
So
it's
childish.
status. It's childish.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Selfish.
Yep.
And you wonder who brought these thugs up.
Yep.
Some of these guys, and then there are others to go through their career without a single blip.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You know, you take a look at somebody like Xavier Bogaerts. I tip my cap to him. He is such a total player. He doesn't cause any problems. He's a team leader. He's a good spokesman. He's finally picking up enough English so that he can communicate well. And he's a solid citizen.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't pile up cars or get drunk or...
Nope. You don't see anything of these guys.
And yet, you have Antonio Brown. At
Oh,
the
did
other
you see
end.
his little exit
Yeah.
there Sunday?
Wasn't that something?
I couldn't figure. I thought, somebody, what in the hell is this guy doing? I thought he was going to take all his clothes off.
Yeah.
But I said, what's going on? I said, oh, he's having some kind of meltdown, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's, the internet was all over that. There's different stories of some stuff.
Yeah. He was mad because he wasn't getting
His ankle
enough.
hurt, and
Yeah.
he didn't think it was ready to play, and then there was some other issues there with another player, and
I don't know so the truth has come out yet.
Brady.
And I'm not sure that Antonio Brown knows.
I don't think
why
he
he
does.
did
I don't.
that.
I don't think he's all there.
No.
I don't. I
No,
think there's.
he's done
there's-
this too many times.
Yeah, there's a screw loose there someplace.
That has got to be the end of his NFL career.
That's pretty
This-
much the
Yeah.
summary of almost all the writers, where this is probably the end.
But there'll be one greedy owner, or stupid owner,
There'll be
that'll say,
KC, LV.
yep,
Who else will overlook it and say, "Oh, come on."
the Rams maybe.
Yeah, Rams maybe.
They spend money like it's, come over with us. Let me put my arms around you and hug you, and let's talk out your problems.
We understand you.
We understand. That's right. We'll work with
Mhm.
you. All right? Don't let anything bother you. Just go out there and get us some touchdowns. And it doesn't work with that lad.
No, there's something wrong there.
Yeah. And it's a shame.
Yeah.
He's very,
Very talented.
very talented. Yeah.
Well, some of them guys have settled down. Ezekiel Elliott, he's settled down.
Yeah.
And just playing now instead of causing trouble all over the place.
But, he got the payoff,
Yep.
and that calms things down. But wait until Dallas falls on tough times,
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
it's, they fritter away this guy, and they release that guy. They wouldn't pay this guy. I want out of here, and they lowballed me when they signed me to this contract.
And
blah,
Jones
blah,
always
blah.
meddles in his team.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always the same thing, though. Me,
Oh yeah,
me.
absolutely.
Not team,
Oh
team,
no.
team. No.
It's me, myself, and I.
How about a really bad story that infuriated me from Minnesota? A Minnesota grocery delivery driver accused of running over bags of food she had dropped off in a Twin Cities suburb because she didn't like the homeowner's pro-police yard sale sign has been cited for criminal damage to property. She delivered groceries.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah. And because it said we support our local police,
Yep.
she backed over the groceries and drove off.
You can't make any of this stuff up anymore.
Nope.
As wild of imagination that you've got, folks, there's somebody out there in real life that's even weirder.
Yep. The couple received a full refund from Instacart, the delivery service, and they fired the delivery driver.
It's
36-year-old woman from the nearby suburb of Coon Rapids. And she called in her, the driver allegedly scribbled a note on the receipt that complained about the delivery service pay and called police racist pigs.
oh yeah.
Well, they're not all locked up.
Oh no, they walk among us, my friend.
Swastika found at Danvers High. Now, there's a lad at Danvers High School that has been scrawling swastikas in the boys' rooms. and I say one, maybe more than one now. The principal said he was deeply saddened and frustrated by the offensive graffiti. It is a troublemaker acting out a way to get attention to himself.
Absolutely.
And why should you be saddened or disgusted with the whole damn thing when it is just some idiot?
Yeah.
And if the idiot was walking around kicking girls in the ankle, it would be the same order of magnitude. It is, I am an idiot and I'm looking for attention.
And I'm getting it from you.
And I'm getting it
Yep.
because every time it's in the paper,
I
it's
get another
me.
I get another kick out of it.
That's right.
Yep. Now-
It happens so that once this happens and it's in the paper, then it's, at Burlington High School there was an incident.
Yeah.
A SWAT sticker was
Oh,
scratched.
they
into
got
a
it over
desk.
there at Danvers. They got attention. Let's see what happens if we
Yeah.
do it.
And the foolish follow the foolish.
Fall right over it.
Yeah. And the school officials and the parents and the TV stations take it as though he took an atom bomb to the school and dropped it and killed everybody in the school. Same order of magnitude.
There was a situation around here a few years ago where they found some pills on a school bus. They locked the school down.
Yeah.
They searched things. The kids sat in their classroom all day long. They didn't do nothing, but just sat there. You know what? Next day, 8 or 10 buses had stuff on the floor. Some of them were Tic Tacs, some were aspirin or something. They said, hey, this is great. We get out of school. So let's spread this stuff all over.
Now, I'm not sure whether this happened in Norfolk or not, but someone found, you're going to love this,
I think I know where you're going.
an empty
A spent
22
cartridge.
spent cartridge
Yep.
in the boys' room.
Yeah.
Immediately
Oh, my
closed
God.
down the
SWAT
school
team,
to
everything shows
and they
up.
searched lockers and
It's
Nothing
a spent
was
cartridge, a little
found.
piece of brass.
yeah,
It has nothing to do with that.
no.
Oh, I
And
know.
when we were kids, on Memorial Day,
Oh, you
and
always
they
picked up the-
fired
yeah.
the rifles in the air, we were there picking up the brass.
First one, yeah, jump
Yeah,
right in there
yeah,
quick before some
and-
other kid
yeah,
got them.
And you used to
Whistles.
whistle on them. Yeah, those were dangerous. Now,
We did the same thing.
yeah, a 22 spent cartridge, a shell, sitting there. It could have been a comb or a toothbrush for all the danger that it held.
Yes. I saw that too. I thought this is really ridiculous.
The gun craze, the gun people, the anti-gun.
Now, I'm surprised some kid didn't bring another one to school, some other kid, and put it someplace else just to see what kind of reaction he's going to get. Or she.
You know, the Biden administration hasn't moved on gun control. They've been doing polling.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what they've found? Now, only 52% of the people in the country favor tightening the gun laws. 52%. If you took the cities on the East Coast and then possibly Philadelphia, but then the West Coast, there would be 65% favored
Yeah.
gun laws as they are. No need to tighten them. So, I mean, they read the tea leaves and said, not going to fight this battle. This is a loser.
When gun control with me, you know, I'm a former hunter. I own guns, or I have passed my guns off. I still own an air rifle, but other than that, Monica's brothers inherited mine. The my thing is that we gotta have some enforceable laws so the bad guys don't have the guns, the good guys can keep their guns, but damn it, enforce what you got. If you
That's the problem. We don't enforce
we don't
what we
enforce
have.
it. And we got such a mishmash. One state has nothing. Other states, you know, they'll hang you for something.
Well, Massachusetts.
Set up a
Yeah.
make sense thing. If I have no problem at all with registering a firearm, I don't have it any more than you register your vehicle. Because if somebody steals it, you know who you can get it back. And I'm not going out and robbing a bank with it or shooting somebody. But it's the other guy that you got to worry about that will.
Well, I worry about government confiscation. This outfit here, down in Washington, where they had the wind at their backs, they would be for registration.
Yeah.
With the idea that we'll pass laws against AR-15s, attack weapons,
Yeah.
and we'll go confiscate them because we know where they all are.
They just won't find them. I'm not sure.
Oh, I know they wouldn't, because the gun owners will not
wouldn't give them up.
register them.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't give them up if they did have registered.
Yeah, and then it would be blood. It'd be a bloodbath.
But if that's what it took to get these guns out of these hands of these punks, and they think, you know, running guns from one state to another, I'm all for it. I'm all for if you get caught in a crime using a firearm, you're not going to see daylight. None of this probation crap.
They
None of
take
this.
they take the guns away from the kids
Yep.
in Boston, and the kids are back out on the street in an hour.
That's right. It's just a revolving
Yeah.
door.
And you know what they say? He's only
Yeah.
a child.
He's only a child.
He's only. Are we gonna ruin his life over one mistake? Or what if that little
One mistake.
Twit.
Yep.
made a mistake and pulled the gun out and shot somebody and killed him?
Well, then it's just such a tragedy. Oh my God, society's fault.
It is. It's society's fault.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he never had a chance. He didn't do well in school because of the bigoted, stinking teachers.
Yeah. Oh,
And he
yeah.
didn't do well in society either because it was all rigged against him. He couldn't get a good job. And give me a break.
That's right.
But you know, we shouldn't limit it just to one segment of our population. I mean, it is so much of our it's all of our population. It is the fish and release, catch and release.
Yeah. Like it's a trout stream or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, by the way, they were talking today too in the Globe that they have a new idea now, and that's expunge all criminal records.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
So that you can't look up. Oh, let me type in Duane Weiss
Yeah.
to the data bank. Oh, nothing. He's clean. Oh, yeah. Well, it did have 14 arrests.
15.
Oh, 15. But it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no way of judging whether or not.
Yeah, well, that's got Rachel Rollins' imprint all over it.
The Globe wrote quite an impassioned column, editorial, on it was a shot across the bow of Governor Baker. Be careful how you replace Rachel Rollins. Make sure you get a person of her stature. Don't start tearing down the wonderful things that she did.
Yeah, there's so many premises that I don't agree with in those kind of statements with her, because I think she's she is a great part, section of the
Huge
problem.
part of the problem.
Absolutely.
Her and people like her.
Yeah, that's right.
That whole thing about no bail.
Yeah.
Well, the kids don't have any money. So what? Let
Well-
them stay in jail for 6 days until their hearing
Don't do
comes
the
up.
crime then.
Yeah, don't.
Shoplifting's not a crime.
It's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, well, tell the guy that's going broke.
Yeah.
He's going to lose his house. He's got to finance his
Yeah.
businesses, but
Unless
you're
it's-
stealing him so much from him, he can't make any money.
Plus, it's over $960. It's not even a misdemeanor.
It's not even a crime.
Yeah.
They're gonna prosecute.
Just walk in and take it and get out the door. I don't know. Good Lord.
I know, Bill.
Do you know?
What is it going to be like 20 years from now? You know, we're not going to be around to see it,
No.
but our kids will. Our grandkids
Yes, I know
will.
they will. You know what, Duane? I think that this elastic can only be stretched so far. It's going to break and it's going to snap back.
What do you think is going to be the consequences?
I think that in 2024, if we continue on this lawless path, I think there's going to be a big sweep in Washington. I think 2022, I think that the Republicans will take back the House and they'll take the Senate.
I think so too. That's going to happen.
And I believe that a lot of this nonsense will start to get curbed. But you've got to hold the Supreme Court at 9 people. You can't go off on one of these tangents of stocking 15 people in the Supreme Court because you want your form of justice. I mean, look, the people speak. They elect these people. These people stand for this because they have taken command or power in Washington. They appoint certain types of Supreme Court justices that reflect the values of the voters that sent me there. Who is this elite group over here to say, I don't like that? They shouldn't be allowed.
Mm-hmm.
All right? It should be our ideas, not their ideas. There's got to be a balance in the Supreme Court. Can't be 6-3 conservatives. That's against the laws of God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm so disgusted with both parties.
Yeah.
I
I'm
would like to
disgusted with the Republicans too.
Oh, absolutely. Neither side will cooperate with the other. They just dig in their heels, even if it's a good idea. Well, I'm not going to cooperate with that side.
Perfect example, Duane. How much longer are we going to watch Social Security and Medicare march towards disaster?
Die on the
Then
vine.
all of a sudden it'll be henny penny, the sky is falling.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my God! How did we get in this situation?
And so when you come to Social Security, it's so easy to fix. Just change some of the parameters and you're golden again.
Bingo bango. Go 6 months older before you can get full retirement.
Yeah.
Change it from $160,000 up to $500,000. Okay, for payments, or up to $1 million.
Or to $1 million, or don't even have any, because at that point, who cares? If you're making $1 million,
yeah, exactly. And all these businessmen just say, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just raise the price of my products." I mean, and with Medicare, I mean, how much longer can you be parceling out like 60 cents on the dollar to hospitals? And no wonder hospitals have to go up on their rates because they're not getting the full payback from the insurance companies.
I use a CPAP machine.
Yeah.
And I really don't have it. I know the machine costs about $2,100. Now, I don't know what Medicare pays for it, but it's the equipment that equipment doesn't last that long. The masks are about this big, and they got a real soft rubbery thing on and clear plastic, and then there's a hose and there's a tank and some filters and stuff. For example, a little mask like this, $75 they charge for it. A hose, $125. The mask with the little what would you call it? The harness.
Mm-hmm.
has a little valve in it. $225 for that.
Yeah.
And they charge that because when they bill it back, they only get a small
Yeah,
percentage.
yeah.
But now some poor guy comes along that doesn't covered by Medicare or insurance. That's what he's expected to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do it. It just,
You know, Duane, which picking at that scab brings up another point. Now, boy, I'll tell you what, I am no flaming liberal. I mean, I'm just far right as, well, not as far right as some of the others, but certainly I'm conservative Republican. And I'll tell you, one of the things that bothers me about the Republicans is they are refused to work for a system of health care that insures everyone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we've got people in poor states. There is no real insurance policy for them.
No,
The Affordable Care Act was supposed to do it, but it didn't.
It didn't.
Now, they've modified it under one of these programs of Biden's so that more people are signing up for it. But there's still scads of people without health care. Now, we were better off, I swear to you, we were better off when, before the Affordable Care Act, when kids worked for McDonald's or Burger King or something like that, and if you worked over a certain amount of hours,
Mm-hmm.
they had a modest health plan
Mm-hmm.
for like $21 a month.
Yeah.
And it would pay for a doctor's visit.
Mm-hmm.
It would pay half, maybe.
But it paid something.
It paid something.
Yeah.
They got some coverage. They got some coverage if they had to buy a prescription.
Yeah.
They got some coverage if they went in the hospital. All right. So you know what? That's all a 17 or 18-year-old kid needs.
Yep.
It's a big help. And when and if something like that were viable, then the second tier would be a catastrophic policy
Yeah.
for everyone. When you have a catastrophe, you're in a car accident, you got $95,000 worth of hospital bills, then that kicks in. But it seems to me that the two sides could do something.
Yeah. But they
But-
won't. That's the problem.
Yeah,
They just will not
do
cooperate.
it. Now, what did the Democrats do? They ran away and hid and wrote this BBB plan, Buy Back America. Buy Back Better.
Buy back.
So, 50 Republicans oppose it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because when the Republicans said, we're going to caucus now and write this bill, they slammed the door in the face of the Republicans.
Yeah.
They said, you're not allowed in. Don't want to hear your ideas. Don't want to work with you. This is going to be a Democratic victory.
Yep.
Like Social Security was, like Medicare was. We're going to do it ourselves. Well, guess what? You can't do it.
No.
No. So Biden said, I will work across the aisle. I know how to work across the aisle. I did work across the aisle. He wouldn't be able to find the aisle now if somebody put a flashlight in his hand and put him in in Congress.
I don't think anybody can work across the aisle right now.
No.
There's too much of a wall built there.
There is. And it's a
No matter who
pure
it is.
hatred.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I'll never forget the day after Trump was elected, Schumer went on TV and said, the impeachment starts today.
Yeah. Well, ideally, if we could go through the legislature and pick out 200 or 300 out of Congress and kick them the hell out of there,
Yeah.
we'd be better off. But we can't get rid of them.
Duane, I swear to you, and I believe this with every fiber of my soul, we should take Congress out, farm them out, put them behind walls out in one of the rectangular states, and lock them up and throw the key away. And then get some metropolitan phone books and pick out the names of 535 people around the country at pure random.
Random.
Bring them up, pick them up,
They'd
bring
probably
'em.
do a better job.
They would definitely do a better job. There's no doubt in my mind. By the way, Nikki Haley, I don't know whether she stands any chance in 2024 or not. But I thought her slogan that she was using in her fundraisers last year or a couple of years ago, whenever, stand for America. Freedom at home, strength abroad. I thought that was great.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? That's common sense.
Yep.
Do you know there must be, I'm going to mention to you the name of one person. I'm going to ask you to guess. One person who must be apoplectic right now in saying to themselves, if the gods had been fair to me, I would have won in 2016 and again in 2020. And I would be sailing along into my second administration. Deep down, this has got to be one really peed off woman. Hillary Clinton.
She believes that yeah, I think, well, absolutely, she believes that.
If she had won in 2026, she would have won in
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
She would have won in 20. She would have won re-election unless
Yeah, I
she
think
made a gargantuous error.
I think you're right, because the momentum would have carried her over.
And she would be saying right now, I'm in the 5th year, the 6th year of my presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't I something? And she missed it by the proverbial eyelash.
Yep.
She has got to be down deep one bitter woman. I don't think she's got over it yet. I know I wouldn't have got over it.
No, she's not. I think she would have been so much better off if she never ever married Bill.
Well, you know what? I don't think either one of them would have ever been president then in that case. I think that his genius was how to get along with people.
Well, that's true, but it was personal.
And she's
life was
got a
disaster.
rancid personality.
Yeah, she's got an irritating.
Yeah, she's a policy wonk.
Yeah.
And I think that the melding of the two, I don't say it made for a better country, but it made for a stronger candidacy of his.
Yeah, probably.
And then the band of crazy people they had working for them.
Yeah.
They put together some real political operatives, and they really ran. I'm not saying it was a great presidency, but they were there was no way in hell he was going to lose the second term.
Mm-hmm.
They knew how to run. Would Joe Manchin been a better, more deserving man of Time's Man of the Year than Elon Musk?
I don't know. I'm not sure what they use for criteria.
I'm not sure they have any, really.
Because it's not good or bad. Sometimes, Adolf Hitler's been
That's right.
on
Absolutely.
that cover Times Man of the Year. So, and Pope Francis has been on. So, what's the criteria? I don't know.
You're right. I mean, I think it's had the most impact on the world events.
Good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad. But then, I mean, there's been gargantuous evil in the in the world,
Oh my.
and it's been overlooked. So I really don't know. Sometimes I think it's just a popularity contest. Now, there's no doubt that Elon Musk is a brilliant entrepreneur, as well as a very successful hands-on doer.
Yep.
And he also has got an insight into the future. He sees things that,
Yeah, he's very technically oriented.
yeah, I don't get much beyond what's going on TV tonight. That's about my look into the future.
Me too.
The administration announced on July 14th, we now have independence from the COVID pandemic. Two questions. How did that work out? And who thinks up these stupid ideas?
I don't. First of all, we know how that worked out.
Mm.
And second of all, I don't. I am so surprised and so disappointed in the politicization of COVID.
Yep.
If Trump would have shut his mouth, if Biden would have done something, we wouldn't be in the damn fix we are now. If we didn't have a bunch of idiots out there that not only don't want to cooperate, they want to actually throw a wrench into the function to stop it. It's nuts. It's like self-destruction. I just found out that one of my classmates died of COVID-19 from high school. We only had 28 kids in the class. He got sick and he died from it. I got a cousin's wife that got sick on Monday. On Thursday she died. And they were anti-vaxxers. They would talk your ear off about not getting that vaccine. Damn it, it's not safe. It makes you grow 3 heads, or they put a chip in it, or all this crazy nonsense.
And it'll be controlling you.
They're controlling you.
Yeah.
And I never thought people in this country would be that damn gullible.
You know, what I'm afraid of is that this segment, Trumpers, they are going to be the rotten apples that ruin the barrel of good apples.
You know what happened here? They started out, this is what I've seen. This is not my total idea here, but I'm stealing some of this thunder. Trump started out as, there's no such thing as COVID, it's a hoax, folks. He didn't want to anything that would take his power or his influence away, and particularly by closing down stores and business and stuff. He knew that the economy, that was his strong point, and if you take that away, I'm going to be hurt by this. So he dug in like only he can do, because he's very self-centered and it doesn't matter. He'll throw anybody under the bus.
His middle name is Stubborn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's me, everything's for me. But he started that movement, and then he saw as it got more and more and more, and January 6th came along, and he said, I've lost control of the movement that I started. Now I have no control. Now I've created a monster that's out there. And even because what was him and Hannity, was it, that were speaking? And they made some comment about, yeah, I got vaccinated, I got a booster shot, and the crowd started to booing them, both of them. And and Trump says, no. They wouldn't listen to him.
No.
He's lost control of the group that he started, and now it's like the genie's out of the bottle and you can't put it back.
A perfect example was that going way back in my youth, really young, one of the things that people would do would be to burn some land.
Yeah.
I remember it was a big deal for me when I was 8 to go in the fire truck with my grandfather.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
We're going over to Schultz's house, and we're going to burn his backyard there, back by his garden and all that stuff.
We did the same thing when I was a kid. It was exciting to see that.
It was big stuff, I was with my grandfather and with Harold Campbell, and riding in a fire truck, and holy cow, well, guess what? The fire got away.
Well, we all at our place too.
And went into the woods and burned about 20 bloody acres.
Yeah.
Well, there's Donald Trump for you. I had a germ of an idea,
Yep.
and I let it germinate. It grew,
And it grew out of
but
control.
it grew exponentially,
Yep.
and I couldn't control it. I
it.
couldn't cut it back. Yeah.
So now we're living with it.
Yep.
So I don't know what the I am afraid, Bill, that we're going to see COVID well, we're going to see it the rest
Yes.
of our life.
No question.
But our kids, grandkids, and stuff, are they going to have to live with this forever?
Now there's I listen to these talking heads on Fox all the time. They have these different medical guys come on. One guy came on and said, "I'm a virologist. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen is this Omicron is going to absorb the COVID, and it's going to neutralize the COVID in some fashion, so that, and it might even meld with the common flu. We may end up getting one shot." But he thinks that COVID will die kind of a natural death, or meld into who knows? I have no
I hope they're right.
I hope they're right.
Yeah, but
Well, we're down to the bitter end, and I got one more thing for
okay.
you. A question from a reporter to Jan Pataki. What does the administration regard as its #1 achievement in foreign policy? Jan Pataki. That's a great question. Let me talk this over with the president, and I'll get back to you. I want to be thoughtful about it. The answer is there is none.
There is none.
None.
That's just that's a politician's answer.
And has she been back yet
No.
with the answer?
No.
Hell no.
It's no different than when they ask, what do you think about item A? And they say, well, yeah, it's been a cold week, hasn't it? They change the subject and go off on something else, and they just ignore the question.
The Ted Kennedy question.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was a...
Yeah, I mean, he would just, you'd ask him a question about crime in Boston, and it would be, the answer would be, well, we need a new bridge over the Cape Cod Canal.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
the sooner we get working on that, folks, it has been a pleasure to be with you for the last 2 hours. And just to show you how happy I am, we'll come back for a couple more hours in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so be prepared and be warned.
That's right. And Thelma, be well.
Yeah.
And on that note, folks, good
Stay
night.
safe.
Stay safe.
If you haven't got a booster, get it.
That's right. And for you folks that haven't been vaccinated, for heaven's sakes, rethink your position, will you?
Yeah.
Get with the program. I just I can't understand you.
I don't understand.